What Remains of Edith Finch was released on April 25th, 2017 for the PlayStation 4, and oh my goodness, how I forgot about this game. It wasn't until a friend of mine reminded me of it that I thought about it. But she wanted to play it! My response was, "Oh, my favorite!" But she played my copy, to save her the waste of money, and once she completed it, she thought that it was better to watch a Let's Play of it, rather than play it. And that's my problem with this game. There's hardly any game. It all focused on story as I walked the entire time. Now, games can focus on story, there have been many that balance this out, but gameplay is essential to this balancing act. Walking eternally is not gameplay. Now, there are interactive bits in What Remains of Edith Finch, but those don't involve any gameplay either, and they're just more walking. Interactive bit number 1. Little girl walks around, then kinda walks around as a cat, owl, shark, and tentacle monster. Number 2. Old dude photos. Press R2 to flip through the pictures. Not walking, but boring. Number 3. Push the boy on the swings. Not walking, but tedious. Number 4. Here's where we get to the first interesting concept. The comic book story in which you get a crutch which you hold like a horror game, but it's botched by the inability to do much. The transitions between panels momentarily take you out of the game, breaking the flow. For as much as the game sets up the level, it isn't much beyond walking again, which is a shame as it had the potential to inject some gameplay and break up all the walking, but no. Number 5. Open a can and what else? Walk. Well, that's new. Number 6. This one is simple but well executed. Using the perspective of the player as a camera, we move along through each photograph. Simple and clean. Number 7. Baby in bathtub with the jumping frog. Number 8. I walked into this room and looked around at all the references to the infamous Swan. Then the jingle played, and I got excited. The thought of playing a level from the infamous Swan popped into my head, and I was ready to jump back into that world. But all we do is press a button and scroll through a flipbook. What? You played the jingle, and you get me excited over this? Why? This area highlights all my problems with the game and tells me to go play a better one. The infamous Swan was a marvelous game with simple gameplay. Oh yeah, it had gameplay. At first, it's a game of discovery. You uncover the game world around you using the paint to learn the layout of the area you're in. It's like walking in the dark, bumping into things as you move along. Eventually, you can get a layout of the area you come across much easier. Then the game starts giving you puzzles to solve. So, after the disappointing unfinished Swan reference, we actually get the best interactive segment. Number 9. The Cannery. This is all you need to play to experience what this game has to offer. It starts simply. You are Lewis. Lewis works at a fish cannery, and you use the right analog stick to bring across his right hand to grab fish and behead them before throwing them onto the conveyor belt. Once you do a few of these, a small dream pops into view and you start to move Dream Lewis with the left analog stick, all while still chopping fish. Both are simple tasks, but together take more effort, as well as the fact that you're paying more attention to one than the other. This section does so well in blending interactivity and storytelling that I wonder, where was this in the rest of the game? This is what I had expected when I first started playing the game. There might be an emphasis on story, but there would still be simple gameplay that was gratifying. Sadly, most of this game is just walking. I expected better from the makers of the Infinite Swan. However, I still believe that Giant Sparrow can make great games.